The AM 96.3 FM, The Source.
All right, 20 minutes before 11 o'clock. I wish we had more time. Meredith Ochs is on the phone. She was with us for the Rock and Roll Women. Remember that book? Oh, wasn't that a great book?
Great.
I want to spend more time with Meredith. If I'm at a family gathering, like for the holidays, and it's all sports people or people who like to talk politics, my eyes glaze over. Mm-hmm. But as soon as somebody says, "Hey, did you see the new book about Aretha Franklin?" I come right back to earth. Gee, what are you talking about? Wait a minute. I like that name. Meredith, you get my attention every single time. We're kind of on the same wavelength, and it sounds like you've got a beautiful book that is about Aretha. The only Aretha I know, I think. I don't know her.
That's right.
Yeah. So good morning. How are you, Meredith?
I'm really good. How are you?
Good. Where are you right now?
I am in Midtown, New York City. In fact, last time we talked, there was like a bomb scare a couple blocks from here, but today it's all quiet.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, but you didn't let us know. I don't remember you telling us that.
Well, I'm a professional.
Guess I could have come up there and helped out a little bit.
You could have put your Superman cape on and flown up and helped us out, but it all worked out. It's okay.
Do you know what I was?
I'll keep you posted about future disasters.
Have you always been a music fan? I mean, really heavy music fan. Is that you?
Oh, forever. That was my refuge from the time I was a little kid.
Okay, so I want to tell you something, and then I want to tell you what my son said, and just see if it works for you too. When I was little, when I was like in elementary school, I used to think if I ever get in a fight, I want somebody to put on such and such song, whatever song I thought would make me feel strong, like We Are the Champions, although I was way before that time. Okay, and then when my son was little, we were doing something. He said, "You know what I always think, Dad? If somebody would put on," and then he would name some song, that I could actually be stronger. Did you go through that? I mean, did you ever feel that the music actually gave you strength?
I think music gave me everything. It gave me joy. It gave me an outlet for sadness. It gave me every possible emotion, and I tapped into that very early, and that is such a wonderful discovery, especially when you're a little kid and you're trying to figure out how to feel your feelings, and then you hear a song and it explains everything. Oh,
yeah. And to get to the topic at hand, the book about Aretha, her music would be the lifting music, I guess is the best way to say it. For me, personally, is that if I was somehow, I don't know, just bummed out about something, and then I would hear her, it would change that, or help to change that.
Oh, sure. And I mean, that was her intention. I mean, that, especially when you get into the late 60s, when she starts to record for Atlantic, all the songs that we first associate with Aretha, Respect and I Never Loved a Man, especially Respect and Think. She wanted this to be empowering, and I think she wanted to empower herself too, but she ended up empowering everyone.
Yeah. But we had oh gosh, who do we have on? I'm trying to think. Patti LaBelle. We had Patti LaBelle on, and oh my gosh, I was starstruck over the phone. You know, does that happen?
I don't blame you.
Does that happen for you? I mean, do you meet some of these people and become I guess starstruck is the best word.
I don't, because I've interviewed so many celebrities, I don't usually get starstruck. I get starstruck around if I had to interview Ruth Bader Ginsburg or someone, or Susan Sontag, someone who's read a million books. But celebrities, not so much. But Aretha, yes, I was absolutely starstruck around Aretha.
So, go ahead. Sorry.
My friend Harry played in some of her bands that backed her up. And,
really?
Yes, and he
wow.
Wrote me. He plays trombone, and he wrote me one time and said what a classy lady that she was, and he said she was absolutely phenomenal when she'd walk on that stage in her furs and her dress with the slits, that she just grabbed everybody's attention.
And the bag with all the cash in it. Did he tell you that she got paid in cash up front, and was always in her handbag, and that's why her handbag was always on stage with her?
Oh, my gosh. I didn't know that.
Wow. That's the way to do it. That's
25 grand, 30 grand.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh. Wow, I bet she went to McDonald's after the show.
Don't laugh. Sometimes she would. It wasn't McDonald's, but it was a fast food chain. I can't remember what. That she would go to places like that with all that money, and she would just have a burger and then go on her merry way.
Oh my gosh! See, this is why I wanted to have more time with you, Meredith. Okay, so tell me about the book. Is it all photographs and that you took, or where does the information in the book come from?
Well, the photographs are my photo editor, Christopher Meeson, did an extraordinary job. Based on the writing I did, he found photographs that really express a range of emotion that even words can't, because Aretha was not very expressive sometimes with her. She kept a lot in. She did not let a lot of people know what she was actually thinking or feeling. She had a front. She was really good at it. But man, those photographs, they just get deep into her soul. As for the writing part, which was my part, I broke it up into 4 essays, one about Detroit, because she had such an incredible relationship with that amazing American city. And I studied a lot of the history of Detroit, and it's so interesting. I mean, the ups and downs of it, and all kinds of stuff about Detroit that I learned, and a lot of it's in the book. Reinvention, which kind of describes her career, because she reinvented herself from the day she started singing until the very end. There's an essay about being a diva, where that comes from, what that means, how she learned it, how she applied it, and also honors and awards, because she was so honored by so many different places, including like 20 Grammys and including 2 Lifetime Achievement Awards. But she also gave very generously and very quietly, and I wanted to get at that too, because she was very generous, she was very funny, and there's so many things people don't really know about her because it wasn't part of her public persona.
I can't wait to see the book. Can you real quickly? I know we're out of time, but what was the connection between Detroit and Muscle Shoals? How did that happen? It seems like they're so removed from one another.
That story's in the book, but what it was a bunch of really cool white guys who love soul music. And Jerry Wexler, who ran Atlantic Records, ended up he wanted to put Aretha in a setting where her gospel roots would come out, and so he picked Muscle Shoals. It was a disaster. It almost didn't happen. It was so bad, and the story's in the book.
Really?
And it's crazy. They cut one song in Muscle Shoals, "I Never Loved a Man the Way That I Loved You," that song. And it's beautiful. I mean, I hear it, I start to cry, because Spooner Oldham's Wurlitzer is so gorgeous, and they're all following Aretha. She led that session just by playing piano.
Wow.
Weeks later, they finished it in New York, and it's all in the book, and it's a great story.
I wish I could ask you more questions. All right, the book, I found it on Amazon. It's called Aretha. Meredith Ochs is the author, and it sounds like it's filled with some great information and some great photographs. Meredith, thank you for being on the show with us today.
It's my pleasure anytime.
All right. Next time you promise to be a longer one, right? Next book?
Anytime. You know what? I'll meet you next week on the air. Anytime you want to chat about music, I'm down.
All right. I know you got to run. Thank you so much. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Last year, the WOCA family of listeners came through big time with Christmas gifts for the Kids Helping Kids children.
I know. The studio was filled with toys. We could hardly walk to our microphones.
And this year, Kids Helping Kids is asking us to help again.
Well, it is a great idea. The children need